What's up, family? Sit back and relax. It's going to be a real sensitive topic today. It's interesting. We'll look at drug addicts and those that are alcoholics. And sometimes we can sympathize with them and say, you know what? Something had to happen in life in order for them to go down that path. Because the reality, we know that no kid says that I want to be a drug addict the rest of my life. No kid says I want to be an alcoholic the rest of my life. Life happens. Choices and decisions are made. And we go down certain paths. And we often wonder, man, what happened to this drug addict to make them go down that path? Man, what happened to this alcoholic to make them go down that path? We'll think about people that are on the streets and we'll wonder, man, what happened to make them go down that path? We'll look at people that get incarcerated. Man, what happened to make them go down that path? But it's an interesting thing. We don't look at normal people and wonder what happened, what made them go down that path. We don't look at overweight people and say, man, what made them go down that path? We don't look at judgmental, religious fanatics, self-righteous people. People that are, as we call, attention whores. People that are always seeking the attention of people, especially on social media. We don't wonder and think about, man, what happened to make those people go down that path? We don't often think about, man, what happened to make that guy so promiscuous? What happened to make that woman so promiscuous? What made them go down that path? What happened to make that guy such a workaholic? What happened to make that woman so obsessed with working out? Interesting thing. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much Jesus you have. I don't care how spiritual you believe you are. I don't care how much you study or involved in Taoism, Buddhism, Islam, and every other religious group. Every single one of us, and I'm going to emphasize that, every single one of us is messed up in some way, shape, or form. And I'm going to say it again, for you hard-headed people in the back, you self-righteous people in the back, every single one of us is messed up in some way, shape, or form. What happened to make us go down the path that we went down? What happened to make you so depressed? What happened to make you so full of anxiety? What happened to make you so insecure? What happened to make you need the attention of men or women? What happened to make you afraid of being alone? Years ago, worked at a prison. And there's this young lady, I'm not going to mention her name, that worked for me. There's a group of people that worked for me in the orientation department. And after we worked with the guys, we would come in the office and I would always have conversation with all the staff while we worked and did paperwork. And then part of the conversation, because counselors need counseling too. So again, counselors need counseling too. And what I didn't ever want to happen was for my staff to get their therapy from the inmates, to get their therapy while giving therapy to the inmates. Because I never wanted them to become dependent or vulnerable like that with the inmates. And so we would always have a little session while we were doing our paperwork where we were talking, deal with some of our stuff that came up throughout the day. And this young lady went in the closet, and so where we kept all of our files and kept all of our personal belongings. And she started crying. And we were all taken back. And I looked and I said, what's going on with you? And she said, and it blew me away. She said, Elijah, I understand why I'm so overweight and why I eat all the time. And I'm like, okay. And she said, you said something, Elijah, and it made me think about what happened to me. And I don't even remember what we were talking about. But she started talking about how, as a young girl, she was real attractive. But her family, her cousins, made her feel uncomfortable, and her uncles made her feel uncomfortable because she was so attractive. And how first she was molested by family members, and then she was raped on a couple of occasions. And she never wanted to be attractive again. She never wanted to be viewed as beautiful because in her mind, beauty brought pain. Beauty brought suffering. Beauty was the cause for her cousins and uncles to do what they did to her. And so she never wanted to be beautiful again, because she never wanted any guy to treat her that way again. And so she ate and ate and ate. And that was her way of putting on all this weight and not being viewed as attractive anymore. No one grows up and says they want to be a pathological liar. And yet people do it. What is it? What caused you to go down the path that you went down? See, because we'll look at the drug addicts, we'll look at the alcoholics, we'll look at all those that get incarcerated. And sometimes we'll look down on them because of the path that they went down, not realizing that we also went down a path. And some of us have gone down paths that have made us so self-righteous and full of hypocrisy that our own family don't even want to deal with us anymore. Some of our families don't even like us anymore because we're such liars and cheats and we can't be trusted. What path did you walk down? Why did you walk down that path? In order for you to be healed from that pain and suffering, you have to understand why you walk down that path. You get all the Jesus you want. You get all the Allah and all this other stuff, all you want. And you will be just as bitter, just as angry, just as judgmental, just as self-righteous and everything else with all of those other things in you. So it's not about the religion that frees you. It's not about the religion that liberates you. Because there's people in church with Jesus and all that other stuff that's lying, that's cheating, that's whoring, that's stealing, that's slamming dope, that's molesting people, that's raping people. Why did you walk down the path that you walked down? Don't get so caught up into what you're into, whether it's religion or whether it's spirituality. I have a lot of spiritual friends that look at it, oh, you know what? I got my crystals, I got this, I got this, I got this. And all these things are great. But don't allow all these things to become a distraction to you understanding why you walk down the path you walk down. Don't allow your religion or your spiritual beliefs to become a distraction to you and stop your growth. Because now you're all caught up with the tools. You're caught up with the equipment. And now you know some things. Now you're so fixated on being a teacher and helping other people. And you stop your growth. Again, why did you walk down your path? Why did you choose your particular path? Why did you choose your particular journey? My hope and prayer is that we stop being so religious, that we stop being so spiritual, that we stop being so enlightened, that we stop being so awoke, and we start doing some real work. That we put away all the distractions and we get busy understanding who we are and why we are the way that we are. We have to stop being distracted. What's distracting you? What's keeping you from your real growth and development? Is it that you're looking at everybody else and you don't have the problems that they have, and so therefore you think you're better than them? You think you're more spiritual than them? You think you're more awoke than them? You think you're more enlightened than them? I love you guys. Peace.